Good day, I'm Alan Jasper P. Araga from Maxe 3201. Today we will be using SolidWorks. Here we would be creating bolt and nut with an assembly. First, create a part. Now, upon entering the workspace of SolidWorks, we must first decide which unit of measurement we are using. It can be located at the lower right part of the workspace. We'll be using mmgs or the millimeter. Then we would be choosing which plane we would sketch on. Choose front plane. Then sketch. Now we would first create the first part, which is the bolt. Choose polygon. Now from the origin, click, then just drag. Now you have a polygon, then click check. We would be resizing our polygon. Then choose Smart Dimension. We like it to be 20 millimeters. Upon resizing, we would be extruding our polygon. Go to Feature, then Extrude. We would be extruding this on its mid plane, so it can extend on both sides. Put in 9 millimeter. Okay. Now we have the top of our bolt. Then click the bottom of the bolt. Then choose Sketch. Now put in a circle. Then we would be establishing a relationship between the circle and then the polygon. Okay. Click the circle. Then press Ctrl and hold. Then click the polygon. Then tangent. Now as you can see, now the circle and the polygon has its tangent. Then click OK. Now we would be extrude cutting the circle. Choose Through All. Then flip side to cut. We would be cutting the side. Then put in 45 degrees. Then click OK. Now we can manually do this again on the other side, but instead of going through all the troubles, we'd be using the feature Mirror. Basically, what this is doing is making the other side similar to the front one. Just the mirror face plane, then front plane. Then OK. As you can see, what we done here is also applied on the other side. After that, click this again, then sketch. Put in another circle in the middle. Then we would also be resizing this into 12 millimeters. We'd also be extruding. Extrude. But unlike before, we would not be using the mid plane, but instead choose blind. Then it must be measured 40 millimeters. Okay. Now we have our bolt. But we're not yet finished. Click the front one. Then click it and then chamfer. Choose angle distance. Put in 0.5. and OK. As you can see, the chamfer has been applied. After that, we would be putting threads in our screw or bolt. For that, we would be using the feature hole wizard. Then, thread. Just click OK. Then for the thread location, just click this. Now we have the thread location. For our end condition, we would be using up to selection. For that, as you can see, that thread has been applied, but we are not yet finished. We would be offsetting the first thread location. Offset into 5 millimeters. Now for the end condition, offset 2 millimeters. For the specification type, we would be choosing metric die. Now for the size, we'll be using M12 times 1.5, then cut thread. Upon checking right hand thread, just click the check. As you can see, the thread has been applied. Now for the top part, as you can see here, we are not yet finished. Click that little trapezoid. We would be converting this. Then convert entities. Upon converting, we would be extrude cutting. Feature. Click. Convert entities. Feature extrude cut. Then through all. Upon zooming, you can see the difference that it has made. Now we have our bolt. And we are done in the first part of our assembly. We would be saving this. Let's take control, save. As assembly 1 bolt. Then save. Now that we are done in the first part, we'll be creating the nut. Just click File, New, and then another part. Again, check which unit of measurement we are using. Click mmgs. Similar with the first part, we would be sketching in the front plane. Front plane, then sketch. Now we would be creating our nut. From the origin, create another trapezoid. Polygon. Similar with the first one, we would be resizing this into 20 millimeters. Similar with the first one. We would also be extruding. Again, mid-plane. 9 millimeters. Basically, what we are doing here is the same one as the top of the bolt. Pick the front, then sketch. Create a circle from the origin, then just pull. Again, we would be establishing a relationship between the two. Click the circle, hold control, and then click the polygon. Then tangent. Similar with the first one, would also be extrude cutting. Extrude cut, then through all, flip side to cut, then 45 degrees. Again, we would be applying this also into the other side by using the feature mirror. Then the front plane. Click OK. Now we have our nut, but there's something missing. There's no hole in the middle. Then we'll be creating that hole. Then click the middle part, then sketch. Create a circle in the middle. From the origin, just pull. Smart dimension. This time, it would measure as 10.38. For the first one, we extruded this, but this time, we would extrude cut. Choose through all, then OK. So you can see, a hole in our nut has been made, but we're not yet done. We'll be applying the chamfer feature for both of these sides, this and this one. Then chamfer. Choose again the angle distance, then put in 0.5 millimeter. Edge 1 and to edge 2. For it to be applied on both sides. Then just click the check button and it would be applied. As you can see, it has already been chamfered. Now we would also be adding the thread, but this time inside of the nut. Find the hole wizard, then the feature thread. Okay. For the thread location, for the first one, this, and for the second one, up to selection, this. So you can see the thread has been applied in the middle. Similar with the first one, we would offset 2 millimeters. For the end condition, 5 millimeters. Or we can just simply brush that off. 0. Or just simply uncheck the offset. Resize this as 5. Oh wait, just 2 millimeters. Here offset. Here. We'll be reversing. And for the end condition, remove the offset feature. This time, in the type of the thread, we would not be using metric die, but instead use metric tap. And similar with the size, M12 times 1.5, cut thread, right hand thread, then click the check. As you can see, the thread within the nut has been made. Now we are done with the second part. We just need to save this. Control S, function save, then put in assembly 2 nut. Now we are basically done with the two components. Now let's move on to the assembly. New, make assembly from part. As you can see here, what we have done a while ago, the assembly 1 bolt and assembly 2 nut are open. Now choose assembly 1 bolt and just drag. Then you can see our bolt. But we're still missing our nut. In the command, search, insert, then insert components. Choose our assembly 2 nut. And there you go. We have our nut and bolt in our assembly. Now we must establish a relationship between these two. To establish that, in the search bar, put in mate. With this function, we are able to put a relationship between the two. For that to be easier, put here in the visibility, then choose view temporary access. You can see as you zoom in, the temporary access has been made. Then choose coincident. You can see a relationship between our nut and bolt has been established in a coincident type of mate. Then just click OK. As you can see here, you can move this from up and down as the relationship between the two has been established. Now with that, the assembly between nut and bolt is finished. And that is how you made a relationship assembly between nut and bolt in SolidWorks. That is all. Thank you.